There was a time in La Liga when the league was dominated by two kings, one under the colors of Barcelona, while the other was the kingdom of Real Madrid. During the 7 years they gave battle, the field was lit up at each and every one of their encounters. But however strong royalty may be, they can never get it done alone. They were helped by probably the greatest second fiddles of their generation. However, in future media discussions, their names would be hidden, almost too afraid to open up a debate and overshadow the two kings. This is the battle between Neymar Jr. and Gareth Bale. The two players are as different as they are similar. Bale prefers a more speedy route to the goal, while Neymar is all about knocking the opponents off balance and finding that tiny space to run towards the net. However, they both arrived the same year at their respective clubs, and both of them were instrumental in the growth of their teams. Neymar signed on for FC Barcelona on the 3rd of June 2013, while Bale joined a few months later, as he was unveiled on the 2nd of September that same year. Both of them came with high expectations and had important transfer fees to live up to. The new signing for Real Madrid was one of the up-and-coming young players from Great Britain. At 24 years of age, he had already shown plenty for Spurs in his first few years at the club. His transfer fee at the time was a record-breaking one, making him the most expensive player in football history. That achievement has since been shattered multiple times. But still, at the time, he was the first player that had broken the 100 million barrier. Neymar would come with his fair share of baggage. He had the hopes of an entire nation, his homeland Brazil, who, after unsuccessful campaigns in the 2006 and 2010 World Cup, were looking for their next big superstar that was going to carry them in the tournament that was being held the following year, with them being the hosts. Neymar was fit for that ideal. He was flashy, arrogant, but he was also so good at playing football, impersonating that Brazilian jogo bonito that his predecessors Kaká and Ronaldinho had passed on to him. His price tag was also nothing to be scoffed at, 57 million euros, that was later revealed to be closer to the 80 million euros mark. Quite a sum for someone who at the time was still 21. However, he came with good references, more than 100 goals for Santos, and he became the first and to my knowledge only player to be nominated in the top 10 for the Ballon d'Or while playing outside of Europe. So we can easily see what the hype was about, right? Bale's transfer was particularly hard to get done, as Real Madrid had been scouting him for months, but all offers were up to that point rejected. I'm sure Los Blancos were also quite hesitant to pay such a huge fee for a relatively unproven player, but everything worked out in the end. They were both signed with a specific role in mind, that of supporting their club's superstars, which they did admirably. Neymar formed a magical duo with the other South American talent Lionel Messi, while Gareth Bale would slot nicely into an already established offensive formation, bringing it to the next level, with play centered around an offensive powerhouse like Cristiano Ronaldo, helped out by an emerging forward in Benzema. The three of them would rival Barcelona for the next few seasons. It's also important to note that when Bale joined, he was 2 years older than Neymar and already had experience playing at the top level of football, having already made his debut in the Champions League. Different case is for the Brazilian superstar, who had always played in South America. Bale was already established to be the next big thing. He was one of the fastest players in the game, few managing to rival his speed. So Real Madrid would lock him in as he signed for 6 seasons. Neymar, however, would win himself a 5-year deal through the good showings he put up in Brazil. The fight, however, was not only of being the best team in Spain. The two of them also exchanged blows on who was the rightful successor to Messi and Ronaldo, as they fought out in those 4 years to be the best of the rest, and what a fight it's been. In his first season, Bale would prove to have been worth every penny, as he decided the Copa del Rey and won Real Madrid's La Decima, scoring in the final of the CL against city rivals Atletico Madrid. The Welshman also put in some good numbers with 22 goals and 19 assists, not bad for his first year. Neymar would see the season go by quietly. No trophies, no glory. He needed some time to get used to the much more physical La Liga. He did register some good numbers, gaining 15 in goals and assists. Bale's double, however, would see him come out on top in their first season against each other. But the next year would be a completely different story. The Brazilian would dominate the duel, thanks to the arrival of a key piece in Luis Suarez. finally completing the MSN trio, but then facing off against the BBC. As a result of this new signing, Barcelona would win the treble, destroying teams for fun, while Real Madrid would prove to be not competitive enough in any of the major trophies. Bale still put in 17 and 12. Some good numbers, but not good enough as Neymar saw 39 goals and 10 assists, clutching several times when needed in knockout stages of the Champions League, finishing third in the Ballon d'Or standings in only his second season in Europe. So up till now, the Brazilian fantasista has had the upper hand, with such a dominant season. Also, Bale still hadn't won the league title yet. In the 2015-16 year, they would again be the shadows of their team. Neymar would maintain his good form, scoring 31 times and assisting 25, proving to be vital in his roster, while Bale managed a much more modest 19 and 14. He still guided Real Madrid to the CL victory, assisting for a crucial goal in the final once again in spite of Atletico Madrid. But that would be the only major trophy for Los Blancos, as Neymar picked up the Copa del Rey and the league title. Both of them would see some moderate international success, as Neymar won the 2016 Olympic Games and Bale led Wales to a very surprising semi-finals in the Euros, scoring in the first 3 games to make sure that they passed their group. So up till now, the discussions between the two have been pretty level. Neymar has enjoyed a bit more individual success, but Bale's hand in Real Madrid's trophy cannot be ignored. But then, the 2016-17 season would be completely one-sided. A lot of it was due to Bale's hefty sum of injuries during the year, with Neymar playing 2 times as many games as the Welshman. 91 chances created to his 22, 168 successful dribbles to 26, 283 touches in the opponent's box to 87. It would be a completely different ballgame between the two of them. Neymar would again be third in the Ballon d'Or standings with 46 goal contributions. Bale tried his best, but he had 2 major injuries which kept him out for a total of 4 months. Plus, he still missed a few more games through various suspensions. He didn't step foot on the field for the Copa del Rey and would only play in 3 knockout games total in the Champions League, which Real Madrid won. Barcelona would take home the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa de España, with Real Madrid completing the double and winning Bale's first league title since his arrival in Spain. The following season would be the year of Neymar's departure to PSG. Funnily enough, he would become only the 3rd player to have a transfer fee over the 100 millions, joining an elite club featuring Pogba and the aforementioned Bale. When he left, he had 3 league titles to his name and 1 Champions League, while Bale had 3 Champions League and 1 league title. So going off whichever trophy you think is more important, for me, the CL is the hardest to win, so that is the most relevant in this conversation. So on this level, Bale triumphs. But as individual stats go, there's a real gap between the two of them. Neymar would play 186 games for Barcelona, whereas his counterpart would see 150 matches. I'm considering only the time that they were both in the league obviously, but in those matches the Brazilian young man would put up 105 goals and 76 assists, to Gareth Bale's 67 and 51 assists. So there is no competition here. Also, both of them were viewed to be in their theoretical prime. Bale certainly was, as he had only 1 other season where he scored more than 21 goals. But he did go on to win a further 2 Champions League and 2 league titles, being decisive that famous night against Liverpool, while Neymar would have 3 more seasons where he hit 20 goals. In one, he even managed to feature 28 times on the score sheet. However, aside from the league titles and French Cups, he didn't win anything that is relevant to this discussion. So both of them were in their best positions to win as much as possible during their time in Spain together. As always, in the years that followed, there has been a debate on who was the best signing and who turned out to be the most important for their clubs. Bale has had more trophies and fits better in a system, while Neymar has always been viewed as the better player in terms of natural ability, but is actually quite an unknown. Put him into a team and you don't know how the reactions would be. He's a very polarizing player to have on a squad, but one can't take away his talent. Also, it's worth noting that Neymar has had the higher placements in the Ballon d'Or between the two, a 3rd place against a 6th place. Now what you do with that information is up to your discretion. If you think that the Ballon d'Or has a real importance in determining who the best player is. A funny thing I find is that both of them were signed to replace their club stars, but Neymar left before this could happen. To a certain extent, Bale did fulfill this at Real Madrid, but he fell off a couple seasons after Ronaldo's move to Juventus. The real successor was more Benzema rather than him. So in conclusion, what do I think? I put individual stats as more important, as I think the numbers that Neymar was putting up just can't be ignored. He got back-to-back seasons where he hit 30 goals. Bale has been great for Real Madrid, helping them to multiple Champions League and such. But between the two clubs, who really got their money's worth? Barcelona did. The price they paid for the Brazilian in relation to what he went on to do is just too good. But not taking away anything from Bale. He's a fantastic player, and his time at Real Madrid has certainly helped him cement his legacy as one of the modern game's finest. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. I would very much appreciate that. Until next time. Bye everyone.